It's streaming time, folks, and welcome. Master Fran Art Stream. Hello, everyone. It's me, Master Fran, and I'm here to do my fantastic little art stream here. Welcome along. Oh yes, and thanks for the follow, Tide Miss Story, and thanks for the follow, Gecko Suki. I'm happy to have you here, and you will be following me on my fine, fantastical journey of working on some commissions. Things have been pretty decent, I'd say. Just got back from my day job of doing, a lot of driving and stuff. So now I am basically gonna be taking some art and then converting it to something that'll be a pixel art. So this OC that I've gotten first, this is NBD Dog here, and I'll be working on a full body fighting stance here. And I mean, so far so good, I'd say. Probably copy this, or maybe instead just have this be an image. Or better yet, maybe I could flat out copy and paste you, because I do want to reduce this down. I'll just convert it to I'll just convert this to an actual image here. So save as this basic stand pose. Yeah, I was going to get this done much earlier, but honestly, it doesn't hurt to kind of just show off the little, preliminary process when it comes to just making a lot of these things. Because I drew these traditionally in actual pen and ink artwork here. Like, this is actual brush pen from the paper, then I scanned it in. Oh yeah, things have been pretty nice, I'd say. And then I can just import you as a reference layer, which is not this menu, it's in this menu. There it is, new reference layer from file. That's Kawari stuff. I've got 3 commissions here. Let's see. There it is. Look there. And we have a nice straightforward reference layer that works like this. And then I can just simply trace on top and just do the preliminary block-ins here. And this is pretty straightforward. Since I did all the drawing mostly, I've gotten the majority of what I need done already. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm doing pretty alright, I'd say. At work, there was a bit of a security snafu because I guess some of the students were spreading rumors of a possible school shooter, or at least someone who brought a gun to school, so it's been a hectic day of cops and security guards needing to search the workplace. So luckily, nothing was found, but the people who were spreading rumors online were caught. Yes, thanks for the follow, Scarlet Rose. Yes, I believe everyone who's commissioned me is here. Welcome. You're mostly going to be watching me probably work on these commissions from the start, I'd say. I'm trying my best to do more of these streams more consistently, because on the one hand, I used to do these on a weekend, but then I realized, I most of my conventions on the weekend, and that was kind of an issue, so I ended up skipping a lot of streams because I was just doing so many conventions. Well, actually not many conventions, mostly just mostly just, I think Anime Magic was my notable convention. Yasuki says, "Hey there, how's it going? I've just been to your news post on Newgrounds. I wanted to give you a little greet. Hope you've been having a great time drawing. Wish you a good day. Thank you very much, Gekkosuke. Gekatsuke. Gekkosuke. Of course, yes. Gekkosuke, yes. Oh yes, thanks. Thank you very much." And Tide Story, of course. Yeah, things hadn't gotten worse. Yeah, we're lucky that nothing bad got horrible, because the rumor actually started around Friday, or at least last Friday, but I didn't expect things to actually continue on until, till this week. So, Anthony, how's it going? What up? Working while working. Hope you've been good. Yeah, I've been doing great, and yeah, enjoy the arcade music because it's nice and it's appropriate for the stream, I'd say. Okay. Dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, cinco. Alright, got the rough blocking here. Mark the markings here. Alright. So now we got a nice jaggy pixel setup here. And because we're still in the rough spots, we can just set things up and try to get this to as large as the canvas as possible. Okay, this is kind of halfway, but I'm gonna see if I can't bump the canvas a little larger. So, when I say that my commissions are like 128 by 128, that's a rough estimate, because sometimes it'll either be bigger or smaller. I try to shoot towards bigger if I can, so sometimes I'll have sprites that are much larger than I anticipated. But this is a good setup, I'd say. Has a tail, has a body, and this should be good. And then canvas size plus 32. Plus 32. We have some margin room. So far we've got a nice block in. Control S. Yes, I'm a blue sky and felt to pop in and see your progress. Have a mandatory meeting a little bit, but that's one of those HR mandatory meetings, of course. Oh yeah, if you're watching Twitch on a mobile app, you can just enjoy the music here. But yeah, currently tackling things in order. I don't know 100% if I'll be able to get to your thing today, but I think today is block in as much as I can stuff day. So I'm gonna be doing that. Some jaggies, knock that out. And, just show people how I actually do my stuff. Here's your initial sketch, and probably don't even need this now. So, fine art. Boom. Because I can just rock this now. Oh yeah, I should probably at least show my order right now. So I currently have, so for those who are unaware, I am currently working on a few commissions right now, and currently I still have 2 slots left, roughly 2 slots. And I've been doing that for, I'd say, for the past week. I think one more person is, oh, those are the old prices. But one more person is applying for the another slot, but it is what it is with that. Yeah, those are the way old prices. Yeah, that's incorrect. Oh yeah, the commissions are, my commissions are actually, the half body art is actually supposed to be 8, but full body is 100. But yeah, I still have 200 slots. Not 200. 2 slots, that's what am I saying. I got 2 slots left, and if you're interested, you can either type the action exclamation point commissions, or you can DM me or whisper me. I'm all over the place. But yeah, I just working at that. I need to change that up completely because the new sheet is updated from the last one. But yes, also for those who are also unfamiliar, I am currently working on a fake Game Boy game called Black Mask. Well, it's more inspired by the Game Boy than actually being in the card, but it's about a raccoon treasure hunter going all over the world to get rich and look for lost magical artifacts and all the shenanigans that entails. And I've been working on this with a programmer friend since 2020, so now it's going on 4 years. And yeah, I myself am currently, I guess taking a break from this because I need to make more money to catch up on bills. But, while I'm doing that, my programmer friend, I believe he's back from his vacation. But he should be, he's currently just working on enemy artificial intelligence, like, their actual behavior and like generative crap. But yeah, doing that. Let me know if you need any additional rest. Oh yeah, I'll definitely message you. And yeah, this is the game that I'm currently working on. And that's basically just me just learning more and more about pixel art. So now let's get to opening my refs here. So yeah, this is the NBD dog right here. This is the refs that I got. So I was working at this and getting this done pretty fast. Hopefully Twitch doesn't ban the butt, but I'm doing my best. Yeah, hopefully nothing bad will happen for this stream. So, oh yeah, same for you as well, type of story. Yeah, I believe I have your file open here, so I think once I make a decent amount of progress on this, I'll probably just get started on yours actually, because you're number 2, then Kawari is number 3. I believe Scarlet Rose is number 4. So I think there's one more person who's applying. Hey! Yes, you can finally hear my voice. I finally figured out my mic check. So, that's pretty good. Plus, music isn't overwhelming. So, you're watching me just tackle some cool pixel art here. So, I'd say one thing that I tend to do a lot when it comes to just working on a lot of pixel art is cleaning up my jaggies, because that's going to make animation and work with my animations much, much easier. So tackling that and getting that down is, I guess, the paramount part. And usually how you're going to be tackling jaggies, and I guess I'll just be Mr. Informative here, is you want to have them in steps. So you want to go 2, 2, 2 up. Like you want to go a few amounts of steps. So these are always 2 up, 2 up, 2 up before you go to 1. You don't want to go 2, 3, 2. Otherwise it'll look weird. I mean, it looks fine for now because it's it's more of an organic thing, but if you're doing something like a hard body thing, that can be an issue. So usually you're going to probably do something like 1, 1, then 2, 2, then 3, 3, and then you continue on with something more than. And that'll give a nice smooth curve. Same with Yeah, never knew that about pixel art. Yeah, pixel art is interesting like that, because to make it look good, or at least accurate to how it looks in the video games, these little things kind of help. I learned pixel art from a ebook called Pixel Logic by Michael Azizi. I should probably drop a link to that, actually, for Michael Aziz. And that's basically how I got started learning pixel art. I was doing a game jam. Like, I did a few game jams with my programmer friend before actually diving really into pixel art, and I mostly just handed him, I guess, animation files, like actual drawn animation files. And I decided on a whim, okay, why not? I might as well just learn, like, doing pixel art and stuff like that. And I basically reworked Clip Studio Paint and put my files on a really low res. And that's basically how I just started doing pixel art. I just put my canvases at low res. It was like, I think probably 128 by 128, but I was making really small pixel art stuff, and that's basically how I started in Clip Studio Paint. Of course, there are other things with Clip Studio Paint when it comes to setting up your brushes for pixel art. You want to turn off your anti-aliasing for the brushes, so that way it doesn't have the little blur edges too. I'm going to need this because I'm going to put this on my second screen, that way I won't have to zoom so often. Oh yeah, I'll probably, maybe another time I'll do a tutorial on preparing your Clip Studio Paint stuff for doing pixel art if you don't own Aseprite, because this is the program that I use to make pixel art these days, is Aseprite. This program, this is basically just set up out of the box to do pixel art. You don't have to modify the brushes to do pixel art because it's just there right from the box. Be able to do pixel art, and you never need to worry about aliasing or blurry pixels and things like that. It's just there. So I recommend, if you want to learn pixel art, I actually would recommend. Well, actually no, because Aseprite, it's a $20 program, and maybe you want to use something different, maybe like something free, like GraphicsGale is a free pixel art program. GIMP, of course, is a free graphics program. But honestly, like any program that has pixels, you can use it to make pixel art, because at the end of the day, when you zoom really close, like in this Photoshop, it looks fine right here, but if you zoom super close, it's still pixels. Like, it's all still pixels, bro. So they'll probably like use the pencil tool, knock that down to like 1, and basically you'll be dot painting with this. That's basically how you can do pixel art in Photoshop. So you can do that in Photoshop, and then Photoshop likes, and that's how you're going to tackle pixel art. That's I guess my own personal sermon on the joys of doing pixel art. Of course, there's more to it. Like, you can't just go from nothing to Metal Slug and overnight. Of course, there's a lot of practice to it, but luckily a lot of typical art principles can apply to pixel art. Like, I'm a decent enough general artist, I'd say, so I was able to pick up pixel art pretty easily, because it's once you get past the specific hurdles of setting up your pixels to be a certain way for the line art, it's all the rest of it is just typical, be good at drawing and you'll be good at pixel art type of things. So, obviously never skimp on learning art, of course. You know, if you're a good artist, you'll have a decent time picking up pixel art, I'd say. And of course, you know, the fundamentals are there. You got the color theory, you got the, you know, the basics of planning lines and setting up illustration, things like that. So, a lot of this stuff can be figured out as you go. Well, nice. I think I like the fact that I actually pre-drew this character, because now I don't even have to worry about planning this, because I basically got a majority of planning done when I drew in the sketchbook. That's one thing that I'm starting to realize, is if I plan my stuff a little better, I can actually get these things done much faster. Because my previous pixel arts, they actually surprisingly took me longer than I expected, because one, I was doing, I think, pixel art commissions for the first time ever, like actually taking those commissions. So that was interesting, kind of just figuring out what I need to do with that. But managed to do that, and it actually turned out pretty well. Real happy with how I got the. I'm specifically happy with how I got Takkun's pixel stuff. The horse has a cool flappy long coat, and basically I was like, okay, I'm struggling with this cloth stuff. What can I do? Well, I recently have a animation program called what's it? Flow something, Pixel Flow, and not Pixel Flow, but shoot. But basically, what it does is it lets you put the drawing into a animation engine, and it will simulate wind blowing or water waving and things like that. It's been pretty good for just getting just a physics simulation of cloth. So I did that, rendered it as a half frame thing, then reduced those frames, then imported back in Aseprite. Let me see if I can't get him here. There you are. Oh yeah, here's the previous pixel art I did. Pretty nice. And basically I had this going and simulated the back of the coat, his tail, and his hair as, wind effect, and then I have the frames and made it more convincing. And that's how I got a decent pixel art effect with that. 10 drawings of working on it, plus the mustache twirl. So I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. And then I also have another one where I'm just gonna showcase my previous commissions, because hell yeah, these commissions were cool. This one by Blue Sky Observe, did her Frog OC, and this one was also probably a tougher one that I didn't even know what I was doing for the first initial parts, but then it started coming together as I figured it out. But yeah, I got that down, and then figured out the treasure room. And most of the treasure I've got in here is a lot of stock art. I got a bunch of pre-made pixel art from itch.io when I did the treasure, and then I modified it to the colors that I needed. So yeah, so far so good. I'm pretty happy with how this went. But I'll admit that this is also the one that caused me to be okay, I need to charge for backgrounds, because this background did pad my time a bit. Alrighty, let's get back to the actual proper works here. So yeah, other than just dealing with some work stuff, How's everyone been so far? Hope everyone's doing well and enjoying the music. I still have never played, crap, what's this song called? It's a racing video game. Power Drift. Yes. I think I've seen, well actually no, I don't think I've seen Power Drift at the Galloping Ghost arcade at Brookfield, Illinois. But I have played a little bit of Outrun for the first time at Galloping Ghost, and that was pretty fun. I do like this music. I do like that Sega music that they had. Who composed this? Just says Sega? Yeah, just says Sega. Oh well. Oh yeah, been rocking. A lot of games that appeal to me. I usually will be appealed for the soundtrack more often. I tend to listen to more game soundtracks than actually play those actual games. Because one, I would have to put a considerable amount of time in those games. But with music, I can just play the soundtrack. I'll find the soundtrack on YouTube and it ends up just being really good looking. So, or good sounding. So, that's kind of just one of those things where, I will usually not be able to listen to the game's music, but it does appeal to me. Like the Contra music. Like, I didn't even know there was an arcade version of Contra, and it sounds so completely different than the NES Contra. Like, it sounds like the difference between, like, you're spending most of your time listening to the CD version of a band, and then you go listen to them live. They sound just so slightly different that you're kind of not happy with the soundtrack, but it's the same composers. It's just so different. I don't know how I can really explain that feeling, but that's kind of just how I feel about the arcade Contra soundtrack. Like, I'm sure it's technically better, but it's not the NES soundtrack, because one, it has a way slower tempo. Like, compared to the NES one, it has a way slower tempo. In fact, I think if you speed up this tempo, you can get the NES one, but I don't know how you do that in DLC. I'm not in DLC. But, whenever you if you listen to the arcade soundtrack on YouTube per se, and then you put the playback at like maybe 2 times speed, maybe you'll get what's basically that soundtrack, but at the NES's tempo. It's kind of interesting because I also have the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 soundtrack. Even though I can't confirm for sure if it's actually in the arcade. Like, this playlist is an arcade soundtrack. So I'm kind of like, okay, do I do that? I mostly just put most of the arcade music. And, of course, I drag and drop a lot of stuff, so I end up, like, getting not just Marvel vs. Capcom, but also Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which is a full-on console game. Well, honestly, I don't matter. The soundtrack for Marvel 3 is pretty alright. It's a little too, I guess, Marvel orchestrated in some places. It also has that, fighting game digitalness that was reminiscent, like, it's that fighting game sound that you would hear in most fighting games. I don't know what genre it is, but it's like the fighting game genre. I don't know how I can explain it. It's like, it's the sound of Street Fighter 4. Then a lot of Tekken had that too. Like Tekken 6 had a bit of that. And then actually Guilty Gear doesn't have that sound actually. Like everything I hear about Guilty Gear didn't really have that specific sound. But something like Rivals had that type of soundtrack. Rivals, Dive Kick had that type of sound. I don't know what, I guess, genre that would be, but I think if you hear those soundtracks together, you'll start to just notice that, I guess, sound of fighting games. Now, of course, I'm not going to disparage that, of course. Like, it's part of the genre. It's just something I just noticed. Like, if I found a composer like, make me the stereotypical fighting game sound, they'll probably make it that. So, we need to get the actual drawing pose so I can. What the hell is it? Okay. Yes. That way I'll see how it actually is supposed to look. That way they'll be good for me to have like a bit of reference with that. Man, can you believe the composer of Kingdom Hearts composed the soundtrack to Street Fighter 2? Man. It's all a small world, you know? I still feel like Yoko Shimomura is the most underrated composer. It's kind of weird because it's like she's done basically just a majority of, like, she's probably that number 2 in terms of notable Japanese composers, or maybe number 3 if you actually like Dragon Quest. I'm okay. I haven't played Dragon Quest enough to really form an opinion on its music. So, yeah, I hear it's great, but I'm not like, you know, I'm a Final Fantasy guy because, you know, I'm American. That's kind of just how that goes. But yeah, I like that. I like basically Shimomura's, you know, soundtrack and stuff, Mario RPG. Yeah, Virtual Fire is pretty alright because, you know, it also has the Sega sound too. Freaking love the Sega sound. I feel like this should be round. Yeah, well, I'm nearly done, I'd say, with rough blocking. I think once I get the face down, blocking should be decent, actually. Okay. I feel like this arm should actually be further out. Yeah, that will stick out much better. Have you stick out just a wee. Move you. Put you here. There we go. And then have you out here. I'll make a better silhouette, I'd say. Kinda, sorta. Nope. Maybe slightly. Yeah, I like to do that. Give it space. Work. Right. Use that to bleed the fur, and then use this to stick it out to now work. So far, so good. We got our rough line art down. Honestly, I could probably color it in now. I want to get rid of compromising jaggies. I'd say 90% of how I do my Pixar well is I make sure the line art is solid, because they'll make animation much easier for me personally, because there'll be less editing to do. Okay. Okay. Just the chub here, and that'll be good. Boom. Yeah, like a bit of line art. Let's go here, and that'll be good. Curve, and that should be fantastic. Yes. Ugh. So far, so good. Take a stretch, take a swig. Oh yeah, take a save. That's always good. Hey, yeah, things are going alright. It's a nice, calm night. Doing pixel art, I'd say. And then once that's done, I'm gonna be working harder at just getting more Black Mass stuff done. Because currently, what needs to be done with Black Mass on my end is, I'd say, a lot of the game planning. There's a lot of I'd say, I guess the DM aspect of the game development, where I am figuring out what's the content actually going to be. So of course, it's kind of like, okay, I'm figuring out a level list, and I'm kind of figuring out the story context of that level list. So basically, I am taking what I have in my initial, I guess, comic pitch. Because Black Mass was originally a webcomic idea, and then I kind of just stumbled upon Pixar, posted just on a lark. It was doing my Pixar thing was mostly like a sketchbook thing. I was just experimenting, and I kind of just spun off into something more. But Black Mass was initially just I'd say it was a webcomic idea, because the initial, when I was just drawing these animal characters overall, I was mostly like, okay, I just keep making cool designs. I want to do something with them. So I was like, okay, make a comic, because I was skeptical about whether or not I could actually do an animation, like an actual YouTube series, because it's freaking hard, and making shorts was making animated shorts was kind of like out of the picture. I think when I graduated from college, YouTube was doing their, I guess they rechanged their formula or algorithm, so it really kind of just messed with animators. So it wasn't really a good effort to spend a lot of time doing animation, so I was a little discouraged. Plus, I was still quite intimidated. Could I actually do this? I wouldn't. I kind of just had cold feet about it in general. And I could argue that I still sort of have cold feet when it comes to making a proper short. Though, truth be told, I still have cold feet for just developing a game. It's kind of like, okay, I'm making a video game. Will it be good? Well, I don't actually know because, one, I don't know programming. Literally just doing art and trying to write a interesting story to keep people engaged, or at least interested in thinking, hey, is my lore cool? Because that's just one thing that I'm kind of like, yeah, is my lore actually cool, or am I just making weird, cringe stuff? You know, despite, I guess, I'm nearly 30, I still fear being cringe. And I'd say that's probably just a my life thing where I'm still the type of person who gives a shit what people care, what people think about me, and that's mostly just me living a life of like constantly fearing that I'm wrong and constantly fearing perfectionism. And a few times I'm kind of like being told by school and my parents that, you know, having some like specific, like, whenever I did something on my own, like agency, you know, I didn't like get told, hey, that's incorrect. I was just flat out just lectured. It's kind of like, and my dad doesn't really like lecture like a normal person, like a speech. He just yells at me. It's kind of like, well, fuck. I might as well just shut down then, because why bother? Why bother, like, talking about my point of view logic, because it doesn't matter. So I just don't bother talking to anyone about anything and ask for help. So it's been a bunch of personal growth, I'd say, of getting over, I guess, me, so to speak. So that's kind of just, I'd say that's everyone's personal growth. I mean, I'm not the only one dealing with, you know, figuring out how to tell yourself that you don't need permission to do what you need to do. The 3 fingers, you have 4 fingers. Alright. So far, so good. Yeah, there are occasions where I feel like, oh, I'm taking too long to get this Pixar done sometime. Like, do I take too long to make Pixar? Oh, there are other Pixars who have, like, done this way faster. But I do need to remember that they also have triple my experience. Like, there are Pixars from back in the 2000s, their stuff, with way less tools. Like, if you've ever played the Scott Pilgrim game, like, Paul Robertson's been doing this stuff well before I have. Like, there's so many other Pixars who've been doing this way longer than I have, so I need to not be worried about someone else's progress and just try to get myself to not fret so hard about not being the absolute fucking best at everything. Because it's easy to kind of just catch yourself up in that, where, okay, you're remotely passable in one thing, certain, like, you gotta go all and be like, okay, so I just gotta be the absolute best motherfucker in the world, because otherwise it won't matter. But it's kind of like, but it actually doesn't. Like, you can just do a whole bunch of you can just be okay at a thing. You don't have to be the greatest motherfucker in the world, you know? Yeah, that's what I've been dealing with a friend making shoot 'em ups. Oh yeah, it's difficult to feel like, okay, are you actually making a good game? Well, you won't know until you actually test it and get it played and get in front of people to be like, hey, is this interesting enough gameplay? And then they won't know how to explain it. We're like, these graphics kind of look weird. And kind of like, okay, I gotta interpret that and be like, all right, is it the graphics or is it the visuals? Is something not clear? Are things, is the clarity not good? That's probably what people mean when they're kind of like, oh, the graphics aren't that interesting. Is the clarity's not absolutely perfect, or you're not like seeing the art direction and stuff like that. It's a tough it's tough to figure out with some of these things, because of course you got people being like, yeah, but it needs to be looks like absolutely fucking realistic, otherwise I won't understand it. You got people like that. Like, that's how that goes, and nobody's ever read a comic strip in their life, or people are like embarrassed to look at cartoon. It's way harder to make cartoon art than a lot of other art. Like, I end up getting surprised by a lot of artists who I claim, quote, are better than me. And they sometimes ask me how on earth I managed to like make my stuff so simple. I'm like, what? It's easy. You just add less details. You do what you usually do, but you don't add every freaking detail like what you usually do. So I'm kind of like, how on earth do you have trouble just simplifying stuff? You literally will just draw a million things. And I guess somehow they're like, but I don't know what to actually cut. And, that is true. It's difficult to decide, okay, what's unnecessary? It's that Marie Kondo thing where it's like, you gotta, get rid of stuff that doesn't bring joy. I should probably push these eyes a little happier. There we are. Maybe like push this more. Yeah, that's looking good. One thing that I wish Aseprite had that what's it called? Pixel Flow. It's in the iPad. Pixel I think it is. Yeah, Pixel. No, not Pixel. Yeah, it is Pixel. Pixel Flow. What is that? You know what? I'm gonna go find it. iPad. He follows me online, and we chat a lot. I drop in pixel art. PixSquare. That's what it's called. It's called PixSquare, and I was using that when I still had my iPad before I lost it. And that was my pixel art program on the iPad. And I think I got it like just when it was starting to develop. And I was doing that, using that, and it was pretty good. It was as close to Aseprite on the iPad as I couldn't find it. And I was pretty happy. With it, and I wanted to continue on working on that. But of course, I then lost my iPad because I'm a frickin' goof. Actually, no. I have worse words to say about myself when it comes to losing my iPad, but for the sake of trying to stay positive about myself, I'm gonna say I'm a goof. So I lost my iPad, so you know, $1,000 down the drain, no big deal. And I'm kind of like, all right, I'm not gonna buy another iPad, get it refurbished someplace, because I do not want to spend another $800 on a Apple product that I'm overall miserable using. Like, besides Pick Square, like, I generally don't like using Apple stuff. Like, the sheer fact that iTunes went down the toilet already put a sour taste in my mouth. I can't believe they turned Apple Music, I can't believe they turned iTunes into something where I flat out cannot put in my own input. That drives me batty. I'm kind of like, you know what? I'm probably just gonna not use my iPad for music because, yeah, that's just a knock against using an iPad. And, you know, I'll admit that I was kind of miserable using my iPad because I just could not grasp Procreate. It just didn't feel good to draw in. Despite other brushes, despite buying different brushes, despite using different settings, I bought a pen tip that was supposed to simulate the rubber tip of what would possibly be a pencil. And I was kind of like, it's still not just feeling exact. It's better, but still not my weird personal taste. And that's what I was kind of like trying to do with the iPad, and just flat out wasn't clicking. How on earth am I? Actually, this could go lower. Yeah, you could go much lower. So anyway, we'll go lower here. Yeah, like get a little gap here. That looks good. Yeah, you do want to tighten the face as much as you can, because that's where a lot of the notable, I guess, spritings happen. Is a lot of the face is gonna be here. And so far so good. It's looking pretty decent. Probably push you up here and that'll be good. So far so good. And then I can just do some basic lockdowns, fill these colors as I go. I should really use the green so I can actually see it between my tiles. Yeah, this palette's my default like Game Boy palette when developing Black Mask, and I basically just use that for deving. And I do have a gray version, but the gray matches the tiles too much that I need to change it. So get rid of you. I do need to change the color of the grays because it's not making me happy. I also need to adjust the tail a bit because it's looking a little stiff. So probably just nudge you just a wee bit. That'll work. You'll work. You're gonna work, baby. Yeah. Okay. Alright, so far so good with that. Nudge this down some more, that should be good. I am staring at my preview. It's looking great. Tail's looking great. And honestly, this is going to be broken off sometime. This could be nudged a bit more. I could probably push you here more. That'll be good here. And as you rotate, you'll end up getting jaggies, and that'll be fine. The rotate tool is going to be gigantic when it comes to doing animation, because basically you're going to be rotating body parts, and then you're going to readjust the lines so the rotated body parts don't look like jaggies. So far, so good. Okie dokie. May like blunt the tips just a wee bit, because I look at his refs, and he's much more of a soft boy. Yeah, the horns are much softer, I'd say. Like, if we're going sharp, or if he's going more like he seems like more of a mischievous devil than an evil devil, I'd say. So I feel like that's kind of how I'm gonna go for it. Of course, I'd have to speak with him more if I want to make sure that I'm actually interpreting his persona better. Alright, so far so good, and then we can just color as I see fit. I like putting white lights here. Oh, I can readjust as I go. Boom. Fingertips. Okay. Okay. This could be a wee bit rounder. Bada boom. In fact, I could probably just tone these out as the actual gray colors here. The whole lot that I can do here. Muzzle connect would be great. Yep. So, yeah, I don't think he's super old. But he's basically got this gray and orange thing going. So like, nudge this just enough. There you go. And then just make the eyes white just for the sake of getting these down. And because I'm a cool lad. Yeah, we'll just fill it. Use the white. Bit of highlight here. Oh, one little tip that I will say about Pixlr, and that's basically an extension to the line art stuff, is you don't normally want to do like a banding system like this, where you're basically making the line parallel to each other, and you're stair stepping, because what you really should be doing I'll keep the line mark Yeah, because what you really should be doing is breaking it down like that, like this. Because otherwise you'll just stair step. And it looks less like shading and more like you're drawing exactly on the lines instead of the lines going thick and thin like an actual drawing. So when you do this, it looks more like the drawings actually adhering to the curves and looks more organic. Obviously, you know, that's not a hard and fast rule. If you want more light and you want to give it more shading, you know, that's how it goes. If you want to like add dithering and things like that, that'll work like that. But that's a teeny fast pixel art thing that you know incorporate in your own stuff here. Of course, as usual, this ain't a hard and fast rule. There's a million ways to do pixel art. This is currently how I do pixel art and how I tackle just doing these drawings, so to speak. I'll work. Ah, you're still green. Also noticing that the hand blend too much. So I could probably mitigate that with the animation could probably mitigate that a bit. I could probably shade it in a way that it won't be able to be as egregious with that. I could probably, yeah, I can rock some. There we go. That's looking good. And I can add a break in the tail here. That's good. That's looking half decent, I'd say. Okay. Ah. But don't I feel like a dude? Mm-hmm. Okay, so far so good. I think I'm at a point where I could probably consider this block, okay? Because everything else is mostly adding little spots, and that's going to be hard. But, I mean, I have a good starting point. Actually, how did I not notice this? Got a good block point. I need to break here a little further. That should be good. Good, good. Maybe a little bit further. Okay, that's actually looking. Okay. Real nice. Yeah, let me at least add another toe here. I don't like simply make the toe too far to the side. I want to at least get him nice and wow. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. I can honestly get rid of the bottom here. Well, actually no. I'll probably just keep that there until I need to shade it. Because usually in most games, you would probably not put an outline at the bottom of the feet because they're probably going to be standing on tiles that also have outlines. Or at least that's how I'm setting Black Mass up with. So that's kind of a art design quirk that I kind of tackle when I do a lot of my pixel art stuff. And I do want to have this little rising, use these pixels kind of just nudge down the chub so it obeys gravity. Yeah, that'll work. Doing little quirks and tweaks to kind of just make this. Okay. Now, so I could get rid of a lot of the line art. Actually, I'll use the gray. Use the gray. Use the gray, kind of just nudge that down much more. Alright, so far so good. And I'm still not feeling 100% on this bicep. Okay, the overlap looks better. Yeah, the overlap's looking much better here. I should probably at least define the chest just a bit more. Bam, bam. Good, and then honestly, we can just wrap for here. Alright. Okay. Let's set you up. I'm actually going to take a break. Stand up, stretch, and then I'm going to move on to another character block. I will be right back. Skibbity scoobity, I've returned from the... Oh. My webcam's dead again. Nice! Hey Destiny, thanks for the redeem of the hydrated posture check. I have certainly redeemed and got my posture check, and I had my webcam going and everything just went off again. Oh yeah. So, music. Yes. Alright. And Nova seems pretty strong tomorrow. Liking that. Oh well. Am I gonna have to turn this off? Let's jimmy a little. Off. On. Off. On. Selfie? Yes, no. Nope, it ain't working. Nope, it is what it is with that. But you're here for the art anyway, and that's what I will provide here. Anywho's, welcome. I just checked my messages, and the person who was inquiring just dropped their payment. So there is one commission left. So the next person who's actually inquiring just messaged me, and I told them, hey, one slot left. You get in now? Yep, you get there. So yeah. Oh. Yeah, 1 second. Let me take that last slot. 1 sec. Yeah, I'm just going to take in this PayPal stream just right on stream here. Yes, again. Okay. I'm basically just DMing the last person here. You know, cut them a break. That should be good here. Yeah, pardon me. I'm just taking it on stream. It's directly on stream right here. Yes, don't mind me. I'm actually doing pretty decent. Work's been interesting, I'd say. You know, there's been a report, or at least a rumor, of a gun at my school workplace. I work for the school district, and there's been online rumors of a gun at my place. So I'm kind of like, well, there's going to be a lot of security and cops around the school now because they gotta check it. They gotta make sure they don't, get hurt, and they gotta search the entire school for guns and hold everything up. So, it's been a giant pain in the keister then and there. So, I've been pretty decent, I'd say. Nothing was found. There was no weapons. Nothing was found. So everyone's safe and sound. So, of course, the person who dropped that rumor, was apparently a 14-year-old girl. Like, I think 2 14-year-old girls. So, that was, they're probably expelled, and the cops probably arrested them. So, that's, things are possibly safe. There's still going to be, security checks, and I'm guessing metal detectors there now. So, that's going to be some fun stuff. Which actually doesn't affect me personally. Like, I just drive the bus, so I don't even care. But then again, it's going to make a long line. So, it is what it is with that. So, other than that, I mean, I've been pretty decent. Good old Chicago. And honestly, this isn't Chicago proper. This is like the suburbs of Chicago. So, I mean, it is what it is with that. But it's kind of funny because it's hard to get your hands on guns in Chicago because, they make sure that people have actually need to report their ID, actually do background checks at that. So if someone wanted to bring a gun, well, there would be so many easy ways to track that down. So it's not like you can just bring a gun and go shooting with. Alright, and once this new guy pays the invoice, the commissions are filled. Everything's filled up. Everything's filled up, guys. I might as well just say it right now. It's like, next day is gonna be my birthday. Not sure what I'm gonna do. Just go to the movies and watch Transformers 1. Oh snap! Transformers 1's coming out very soon, isn't it? Yeah. I might watch it. I'm not super into transmorphing vehicles, but you know, I will catch it. You know, I'm expecting it to be better than the Michael Bay movies for sure. So probably I might catch it. I've been interested in seeing Beetlejuice, but it's kind of like, how interested am I in this really? Like, do I want to actually like watch it in theaters with a potential crowd that sucks? Probably not. I don't want to watch it with a crowd that sucks, so I'll probably just skip out on that. So yeah, currently I'm working on this commission. I should probably explain what I'm working on right now. I'm currently working on a commission for Tide Midori. Now that's this is his OC. Let me see if I can like drop a, check this ref here. Nice, sick green wolf, big and muscular. He's also wearing the armor, so I'll probably be rocking the armor here. Then he's gonna be doing some power floats, where he'll be floating around in a little idle thing, and he'll be rocking. So gotta be pretty happy with that. He'll probably be a slightly larger sprite because I do want room for this pixel art here. Like, nudge the leg just a wee bit larger. And then give a canvas size. Like, give you an extra 32 inches. There we go. And then we have a bit of room to grow here. It could be a bit wider. Like the legs could be much wider, actually. Get him to be more of a wide boy. Then the legs will be much, much thicker. Yes. Usith Wolf Vibes. Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah, folks, definitely fuck up a movie experience. I probably mentioned this millions of times, but when I first saw Avengers Endgame, like in theaters, the person right next to me was sleeping through all the freaking movie. I don't know why this person thought, okay, I'm going to watch the most anticipated movie of the year. I'm going to spend, what, $15 on the ticket to sleep. And I'm like, what in the hell? You're going to sleep. Not only sleep, we're going to snore through this entire thing. And you snore loud enough that I cannot hear anything that anyone's saying. And it kind of just, yeah, it was one of the big contributing factors of me being like, you know what, I'm gonna get a Netflix subscription and I'm going to just say fuck it all to these theaters. Yeah, I hate movie snacks being so expensive too, and like a sucker I still buy them because I do like the taste of hot popcorn. Like, movie theater popcorn hits much different than actually popping in a microwave, and it's not as, I guess it's not as oily as movie theater popcorn with microwave popcorn. But it's like, even when you have those, I guess I don't know, sauces, juices, something like that. Like you get the store-bought, popcorn sauce, but still just isn't the same. No. Yeah, it's like, yeah, the snacks are hella expensive, but they're somehow they just hit different compared to, it's like McDonald's Coke. It's probably a whole different flavor, but it might also be the way the vending machine or maybe the soda machine cools or carbonates drinks. I think there's like an actual science I saw on YouTube. Like there's an actual explanation of why the McDonald's Sprite tastes better. I'm kind of like, yeah, I love the McDonald's Sprite, bro. And that's kind of just how that goes. It's kind of like you will get into a cycle just doing worse habits because it feels good. And, that contributes to why it's so hard to, go on a diet, why it's tough to, make better decisions about your life because you're so used to doing the bad habits that your brain can't think of any other thing to do with your time besides do those bad habits. So, it's one of those things where you need to really you kind of gotta lock in to make sure that you don't completely tune out of making sure that you're actually improving your life and checking your your habits and stuff like that. And sometimes it can't even be helped because you're in your kitchen. There's little in the kitchen that's good to eat, and sometimes you're kind of like, may I'll just go outside. Or maybe you're already outside. It's too far to get back home because the commute home's probably past an hour or 30 minutes and things like that. And you're kind of like, all right, then I guess I'm just going out to eat because it would take way too long to have a lunch ready. Of course, you can pack a lunch, but of course, that's then, not now. We're hungry now. You didn't pack a lunch yet, so what are you going to do currently? I mean, yeah, you can pack your lunch later, but right now you are hungry. And that can be an ongoing cycle of you not remembering to make good habits because you're so used to doing the bad habits. So yeah, it's getting yourself to improve your life obviously takes many steps. So obviously one giant thing that a lot of the self-help gurus will say is to not beat yourself up if you're not completely perfect at this one moment, because of course you're not going to be perfect. You're not going to bat 1,000 because you just decided, oh, I'm going to play baseball today. That's not how this works, bro. So it is what it is with that. Same with drawing, same with writing, same with music, everything else. Same with learning fighting games. Well, actually, no. Fighting games are just flat out hard. Like, fuck, man. Like, do you do the quarter circle and then it's on the direction or after the direction? And then you kind of like your jumps kind of feel like you're on a tank. Like, your jumps feel so sticky. They're not like platform game jumps. Like Smash Bros, as much as people dunk on Smash Bros, at least the jump feels like jumping. You jump and you're usually in the air, and jumping just hella snappy. I suppose the fighting games, you have this weird jump squat thing, and then you can't really change your direction after the jump, and it's kind of like, I feel like a dope. And I understand the gameplay reason why, because most fighting games is a live system of rock paper scissors where you kind of have to commit to those actions as you go. Like when you do the jumping, you are now locked to that jumping, which means that person either needs to do the anti-air or they'll be weak to you jumping in. So I can understand that logic. I'm slowly and steadily grasping fighting games as I guess peripherally watch everyone else play fighting games. Meanwhile, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm okay at looking at fighting games, and then I try fighting games myself, and I'm kind of like, oh, I'm completely getting walloped, and I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. Yeah, it's kind of just one of those things. Fighting games are for everyone. I don't get it though. It's kind of like, okay, how the fuck does this button work? It's one of those things. I mean, I'm sure I'll understand it at a later date, but right now, I should actually. There we go. Better. So yeah, enough of me, making a bunch of scrub quotes here. Yeah. Oh yes, the commissioner has absolutely paid. Yes. Alright, received the payment, which means I can officially say on stream, my commissions are closed. After I finish these commissions, I will be closed for probably just the rest of maybe just a month, maybe the rest of the year, depending on if I want to open them again, depending on how much stuff I get done during Black Mask. Other than that, I'm pretty decent. So let me just tell the internet that all the slots are filled and commissions are closed. Alright. Post. I gotta post it everywhere that my freaking mission thing is on. So, gotta let everyone know, otherwise we're gonna get messages again. Yeah, I would indicate it on my actual profile pic, but due to some fucking shenanigans with the freaking purchaser of Twitter, I can't change my Twitter name more than once per 24 hours, and that is horseshit. And I nearly locked my name to mission slots filled at 2x5. Fuck, man. Luckily, I was able to change it back by waiting, but still, that is actual horseshit right there. So, I don't like social media. I am slowly and steadily just getting pissed off about social media. Social media is now just a curse on my life. I was recently getting royally pissed off at Instagram. Instagram has a minimum photo limit. So you actually need to make your photos large enough for it to be able to post. Usually I would encounter things where, your file is too large. I'm kind of like, okay, man, just need to reduce it. But I guess for Instagram, and I guess Pixar specifically, it's, you gotta have a certain size, so it is what it is with that. Bada boom. Grab the ref there. Bada boom. And I have that there, and I'll just get the writing there. Super duper. And I'll probably just message this guy more later once I get this down, because I'm probably distracting myself with this. Alright, now that I've kind of just gotten that done, we can actually get to the brunt of working on this, eh? First thing, I do some stretching. Stretch my back up. Enjoy water. Okay. And get back to work. Alright. So far, all I've got left is to kind of just tighten up the body a bit more. And I am making decent progress here. All that's really left to do is kind of just get the knee down here. Get the knees here, knock it down. And a lot of this is just tightening the line art, so everything's just solid. Okay. That down. And mostly kind of just get the curves going. That should be good. Get the feet just blocked in. I could probably push the toe out just a bit. Make it more distinct. There we are. And once that's down, everything else should be smoothish sailing. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got 4 toes. Good, good, good. Nudge the roundness just a wee bit more. Nice round knee. And nudge the thigh just a bit to kind of just indicate that there's a bit of a muscle underneath. And another bit of muscle that's going to be over the knee. I'm slowly and steadily getting better at leg muscles these days. I'm at least remembering that, you know, this, I forget what this thigh muscle's called, where basically you're having a bit of a thigh muscle and it's going over the knee bone. Get her better at remembering to draw that, then you know it actually is layered underneath that muscle. Because when I used to draw legs, I always felt like I always felt like my legs weren't as, I guess, defined as the arms. Like, I feel like everything doesn't get defined when I do a lot of my character designs. It's kind of like, okay, arms, good. Chest, good. Legs, not as good. Like, they're more like stick figures, because I think, you know, most people are attracted to like the top-down aspect, because, you know, that's where the face is, usually. So, it's kind of like, okay, you were designing for the top, and then you kind of get tired from designing. They kind of just fall away. Okay. Feel like his chest could be bigger. Well, I am sure glad that I'm not playing Marvel because I do not want to face Justin Wong. Are you kidding me? I would not like to. I would not like to be playing a game and then get a random encounter of a level 99 super boss. As like the freaking like Xenoblade, you will know my name just starting to randomly play, and you have no idea where the hell that enemy is. Why do I hear boss music? Why, it's the Whistler, of course. Oh man, I'm loving just seeing the reactions with that. Where it's kind of like, oh hey, you have this champion fighting game players. Like, yes, here I am coming back to the fight. It'd be like if there was a re-release of Smash Melee, and there was just nothing but Twitter posts of people complaining that Hungry Box or Leffen was just absolutely destroying everyone in the leaderboards. Let's see. Are so good. Line art's nearly tightening up. I'll leave this actually. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Let's see. Yeah, I can add the chest here. Yeah, that's also another weak spot that I have in terms of, I guess, drawing muscles is I feel like I'm not as good at drawing abs as I think I am. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm doing like a 4-pack, but then you try drawing a 6-pack and I feel like I keep running out of room. It's kind of weird because it's like, I'm used to drawing a 4-pack because a 4-pack is kind of the most realistic body type, I feel like. Every time I look at a lot of muscle references, or at least old school muscle references, I feel like there's more 4-packs over 6-packs. Like, you're seeing more bodybuilders much more bulky than, you know, people who are like, okay, they're more like actually shredded and stuff like that. When really, I think it's also a matter of like my own personal preferences when it comes to, I suppose, just muscular characters, where it's like I do like a bit of a, I guess, chub. I don't know how I can really say that. You know, I like a little bit of chub in my muscle guys, and it's kind of like, yeah, because, you know, they actually need to lift. You know, they have farmer strength as opposed to, you know, water cutting strength. And it's kind of one of those funny little bits with that, but honestly, like, what the heck could I be complaining about? Like, I'm some fat dude. I should probably at least take some time to, I don't know, lift some kind of weights. I'd probably look much better. I could probably do some more like fashiony stuff with my clothes and things too. You know, I see Derek Guy on Twitter all the time, and he's like doing a lot of dunks on fashion advice, and kind of like, eh. And then you're seeing him kind of like explain a lot of fashion history, like, yeah, that's kind of cool. And I'm kind of like, yeah, maybe I should at least adjust my wardrobe from black graphic tee, black graphic tee, black graphic tee, and, you know, make it something slightly better than that, you know, something with more color, perhaps. I should probably make my wardrobe just a wee bit more colorful, you know? Get myself, you know, more into making things colorful. I don't know. add some more color in my wardrobe. And I have been getting better at that. Like I have a few T-shirts that are actually pretty colorful, and I buy more white T-shirts. So far, so good. We need to tighten the shoulder just a wee bit, but I think I'm nearly done with the block in with this. Though I still need to actually make him fluffy. Kind of like right now, I'm kind of just getting the muscles down, and I'm kind of just getting this down. But I should be nearly done. I'll work on one more block in, and that should be good. Like after this, it's currently 8, so tighten this up. I'll just overlap you. I used to be a Street Fighter, Ryu, and now the streets are fighting me. This ain't mighty wings. Bow, 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 bow. Wow, this totally sounds different. Yeah. Bow, 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 bow. Okay, probably like this. Tell. They probably like make the arm just a wee bit smaller. Woo! About to make a name for myself. Yes, that's now his super quote. Gambit's about to make a name for himself. Oh! I'll make a name for myself, yeah. Yes, these recent years have just been the year of Gambit, you know? With like Deadpool 3 and then the X-Men 96 and stuff like that. And of course Marvel just reappearing. Now this is the year of Gambit making his grand return. He is now making a name for himself. Good old Gambit. All right, got the muscles down. I should probably at least tighten the. Now these feet are kind of tough because it is Digitrade. It's difficult to do a foot like this because it's kind of already starting like this. It's difficult to like do a foot like this because it's already this, so it's kind of like, I guess it would probably be like probably something in that line, so I think would probably be more further back, maybe. Perhaps. And round this more. That way it looks more cohesive, I'd say. There you are. Now, I need to get rid of you. Alright. Next, we kind of just tighten up his head here. Luckily, we have a decent head model. So we kind of just go off of this. Or heck, let's do some motherfucking cheating. That's right, motherfucker. We're gonna cheat like a wacky lad. We're gonna cheat like crap. What's his name? Billy Mitchell. That's right. We're gonna cheat. We're gonna do the Billy Mitchell thing, and we're just gonna do a symmetry tool here. But we're only gonna really like do the symmetry tool on this, because that's actually surprisingly easy to kind of just get this down here. We'll clean that shit up. Let's get the big old eyebrows here. Got it. Let's nudge the nose just a wee bit. push the figure that out here. Just do him a neutral face. Okay, that can work. I can make that work. A little bear like this. Alright. Alright. Nice, straightforward. That I can probably just turn off the symmetry right here because that's all I really need to do right here. Because I want to at least get the fur working right here. Get it nice and wide. Let's see. That's a little too long. Let me nudge just a wee bit more. And I could probably like fill the back as a color. For now, my wolf isn't an expressive at the moment. LL. Yeah, okay. Bit more neutral, serious about his job. Believes what he's doing is what his cause is just. Admirable, quite admirable. It's kind of weird, but I just turned off the symmetry tool because I'm probably just gonna copy and paste this, but it's also likely that I do want to at least have a bit of a difference to it. Nah, just hide people. Ah, okay. That's always good. Hide the secrets. Always good. Secrets are meant to be kept. Oh, type secret. Ah, okay, just to hide secrets. Yes, secrets of lost civilizations or dangerous prophecies, that kind of thing. I'm probably like making up stuff. I don't know your 100%. I'm sure you've got something, more elaborate here. I'm probably just spitballing, making assumptions. But, I'd say that's probably part of the, that's part of the whole enjoying OCs part of just, seeing OCs and kind of just thinking, what do they like? What are their lives like? What's, what do they do in their general day-to-day lives here? Okay, and then I just nudge you or put this up. Okay. I think I'm gonna move you and make a back layer where we're gonna have the hair separate here. Okay, let's go in Pixel Perfect. Okay. He doesn't want to reveal too much, but he has power to see people's intrusive thoughts. Ah, I see. I don't know if you've read the Wings of Fire series, but there's there's a dragon who basically has mind reading stuff, and it's kind of interesting where I don't see a lot of. I think if there were empaths in I guess stories like Star Trek and stuff, I'd assume that's more like mind overall. It looks too much. empath was a TikToker term. Oh no, that's an old thing. So I don't know if you've seen Star Trek: The Next Generation, but I think her name's Troy or something like that. I forget like her actual full name, but she has the ability to read minds. Of course, you know she calls it. She's an empath, which means she is more psychic and all that. But honestly, it sort of boils down to her like saying to Picard, "Hey, I feel like this guy's up to something," and kind of just explaining shit that he already kind of figured out, and of course, by extension, we already figured out. So it's kind of just one of those, I guess, things where it's like, okay, you're kind of. It's difficult to portray mind reading, psychic powers in some media, but I'm figuring it out. Let's okay. Actually, no. This. So I feel like it would probably be more of a. Probably be wider. Probably be wider than. Yeah, because his hair isn't super fluffy. Because I feel like I'm keep lying. Yeah, that's figuring out the line. This is tough. I am getting it down, say. It's not like Fluffy, but him shades a bush shrub. Let's see. Right, flip horizontal. Bush shrub. Okay, I think I know what you're. I think we'll know what you're getting at. So, first things first. Go back to this. Okay, I think I'm getting it better here. Yeah, I'd say one tough thing about, I guess, depicting fur in pixel art is that you kind of have big blocks that you gotta work in and figure out with that. But I am figuring it out. It's making more sense. I am seeing what I need to do. Okay. Then get a wee bit of the here. Ah, I know why he's so whiny. His nose is just so. This is so thick. I know what's up too. Okay. But turn out the symmetry and then it's tilted to the right. Alright, here's the nature of pixel art is he's much wider than he is large. Luckily I could probably like okay. Got it. I'll do it for just the face. Okay. for a second I was gonna do something really dumb. But I figured it out. What's this? Oh. Okay. Like push that more. Just a bit more. All right. Pardon me. Yeah. So far, so good. Think I'm making progress with this. So I can draw. Okay. Okay. So good. I should at least get the armor down before I completely forget. Technically, probably should have just planned the armor first. Because that way I can figure out what the fur is going to be. Okay. And then I kind of like... There we are. A little bit too far out, but okay. Got it working much better. Once I get that down, everything else will be in the right place. Almost got you down. Okay. Get one more little spike there. And that will move just a bit. Get the pattern down. Good. Gonna look like a Super Nintendo game, baby. Gonna look like, what, Secret of Mana, maybe? Huh. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I do have the Devil May Cry collection. It actually runs decently on my computer. I'm surprised. So I might play it on stream and learn how to play Devil May Cry. Because, or at least I know Devil May Cry 1 works on my computer. I don't know how the other games will work. They probably don't even run well. Probably like making things up, or at least seeing false positives. Okay. I just realized I just did his ass kind of for nothing. Oh, goodbye, abs. He missed me. It sounds good though. Arm is gonna work. Let's see what time. 8:30. I'm a little late. I guess I won't be getting the third thing done, but I'll live with it. Down the Jordan shoulder pads down. Here. Turn that off, and I feel like the pauldron should be much larger. Get those suckers huge. Basically, you're having like freaking Ray Earth pauldrons. These are the Knights of Ray Earth. Well, actually, no. It'd be Lodroth's Wars. Ray Earth's the mecha one. Lodroth's Wars, the actual like fantasy anime with like ginormous shoulder pads. Oh, that and Slayers. Like, there's a lot of fantasy and old school RPG anime that just had everybody just had ginormous ass shoulder pads because it was a style at the time. And you know what? I'm gonna not cover the fur up with the pauldrons. I believe they're not the greaves, but I forget what the neck part of the armor is. I'm not good when it comes to the actual names of the armor parts, even though it's kind of like, oh hey, I like drawing fantasy crap, but in terms of armored parts, I still just don't remember off the top of my head. But then again, you know, I don't think you need to remember every tiny ass part of a thing if you're going to be drawing it. Like, you're not making architectural illustrations. You're being a wacky art goblin here. Now just crank it out, get that down, then you're a happy, happy guy. You know what? Copy V. At the horizontal stick. Inside it. We're gonna erase you and put you here. Copy B. Right. Horizontal. That's how it's going. That should work here. Billy Chinsley. Yeah, just as I go. Alright, good. I actually placed that correctly. Otherwise, I'd be mucho sad with this, because it's not actually synced. Oh, there is a bit of trim to these pauldrons, actually. Yeah, I'll deal with the line art a little later. First, I need to actually get in the actual stuff here. One thing that I gotta be careful of is getting too into weeds when it comes to details, because this is not the detailing phase of the pixel art. This is a block in and get the pose down phase. What I really should be doing is making sure that the actual pose works here. Okay. Side it, copy V. Do a little squishy. You know what? Let's get rid of more of the abs here. Copy V. We'll work on blocking in here. Okay. Alright. Give you a little bit of a rotate. Okay. That down. Okay. One down. I could probably move the arm just a wee bit more. So far, so good. 8:32. Okay, it's nearly 9. I'll just wrap the stream. I won't go to the next thing, I'll just wrap the stream for now. But I have gotten some decent progress on 2 of them. Good blocking. Uh-oh. Shit. I cut and pasted instead of copy. Damn. Okay. Take another drink. Turn back on the symmetry. And let's redraw that jewel again. Oh, yeah. So far, so good. Okay. There's a pattern. Little faint, but it's doing. Let's at least clean this up, so. Yeah, it's almost sleepy time, I suppose. Okay. Good. Put that this way, and that should be good. Here. Okay, almost. Got you going. Alright. Both sides are actually looking decent. I can turn you off, and then I need to turn it back on. Can. I think the rest of the trim will probably just make them actual colored lines. Let's rework this. Yeah. This, no. There we are. This is looking great, actually. See, I know how to make pixel art. I'm not a hack. See, you can beat your imposter syndrome if you just paint. Whenever you doubt that you can paint, just paint. That's what, I think Salvador Dali said that. Maybe, Picasso. One of them. One of those guys are like, hey, if you ever feel like you can't do a thing, well, just do it, bro. Prove the haters wrong. In this case, you are the hater. You are your own hater, which means you are the person that you need to prove wrong. That's the motivational speech that I'll give. Because motivational speeches are bullshit in general. Ugh. And nothing will really solve any problems instead of action. Because actions are the only things that matter. You can talk all that good shit you like, but until you actually walk the walk, it doesn't mean shit. But obviously, making a good pitch is still, valuable. So what the hell do I know? I'm here talking to all of you. And kind of just rambling, honestly. Kind of just rambling and speaking out loud as you hear my thoughts. My wacky thoughts as I try to figure out my own paint process. Well, I mean, so far so good. You know what? While I'm here, might as well move you to the side. Put you ups. No. Just be here. Here. Add another 32. 32. They add another 32. No, that's more than. Because I would just need to design the actual staff here. And that's what it'll look like. And they'll like blazing fire, I'd say. And then that should be good. In fact, I'll write that down as a staff for the layer. And probably just put you at half opacity because I can. Line art. But so far, so good. I'm nearly getting it. Oops. There we are. So once I get that down, everything else just becomes much easier. Because once we have half decent line art, I can then break the line art down, as well as the colors, break that into pieces, and then it'll be much easier to animate because they're in pieces. Because the way I tackle animation, people will assume that it's motion tweening, which is much more than motion tweening. I actually have to draw, or at least I have to color in the actual shifted frames. Actually, that's I actually move around the frames. Like I don't really use I don't use like rigs when it comes to animating pixel art. I actually do in my, but the way I animate them, I actually will actively rotate it, which is I will select use the select tool, select the body part, rotate the rigs wherever I need. It usually will put the pivot point at a elbow, and then I will recolor and rework the line art as I need to make it work the way I want it to. So, in some ways, it's like working with a rig, but in more ways, it's not. And you'll probably see this as I actually get into the animation phase of this. So, the speculative phase of, working on this, getting it blocked down, figuring out what I need to do. Once I get that down, should be smoother sailing. Staring at the refs just to see patterns. A lot of times I'm kind of like seeing this and I'm like, yeah, I could probably like colors. I probably will skip out certain lines, but and sometimes details will also just be lost in the pixel art because there's only so much stuff that you can just stick in a tiny pixel art thing. So you gotta use the colors to see if you can't emphasize details in some aspects, and I'll demonstrate that as we get to the later aspects of humans. So. So good. There we go. Get the little diamond shape going. More of a raindrop shape now. Harder. Push the raindrop shape. And then add some more diagonal. It's like cowbell. You gotta add it in. You gotta have more cowbell. Okay. Nearly got you. All right. I think at this point I might as well like I'd probably like add a separate line cloth layer there. In fact, there's a lot that I could re-add here. Like he's gonna look fine still. But this is a good start. Can I fill this? I wonder. You probably. Probably I'm missing here. Probably cut that down. Okay. That's a basic blocking. I think I just need to just get that down. But I am heckin' tired. So let's at least start blocking this in. Make sure the colors actually fill. This, I'm missing symmetry there, but I'll let that go for now. Okay. I'm also missing the second band. I think at that point I might as well like color it instead. I should just do that. Just color it. I need to distinguish the armor from the body. Brown, brown, brown. 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 Brown, brown, brown. Oh, one thing that I will say that I did well with is I didn't make an exact copy of his fur on each side. It's not completely symmetrical. So I'm happy with that. So far, so good. This actually. Again, I could make this color. Use the color to add the details as well. That's one thing that I keep getting stuck in the weeds in when it comes to doing line art sometimes is I can make room for just doing color. It's mostly a matter of like getting that stuff set up. Remember, Ryan, you color the shit. You color it. Yeah, it's nearly Betty Bog time. Yeah, funny because he doesn't have boots. I need to color boots like that. So. Okay. Pardon me. Right. So far, so good. Got a nice sloppier blocking, I'd say. Maybe like a grayscale and then use the green fill outs. And that should be a nice blocking for now. Come on, change the opacity to something full. So far, so good. Oh yeah. Thanks. Let's get a new player to kind of just put in a hot pink super saturated magenta so we can see any gaps. And yeah, so far so good. Yep. So far we got a nice basic setup. Yes, Leaf is looking real good right now. Yep. So far, I've got a just nice basic blocking that I can just clean up and then get started just animating. And yep, get to work on that, and then soon I'll actually have some proper floating animation. Feel like his leg is a little short. I feel like maybe if I canvas size. Feel like his leg could be just a wee bit better. So yeah, that looks fine. It's looking better. Alrighty, I think I'll wrap the stream for now. Control S, save, and yeah, I mean so far so good with now. Oh yeah, let me reopen him real fast. That's not it. Let's reopen you. That's not you either. Saw it. Go back to the files and open it. Alright. And we'll probably just have them side to side here. And yeah, so far so good. These are the two that I've gotten done so far. Pretty happy with the actual progression of getting to full bodies done. And yeah, I'd say I'll be streaming next week, or at least dropping in progress to y'all for every respective commission here. And once again, my commissions are completely full. I am taking no more commissions. So I'll be letting the news out there, and I will see you all next week. Probably like either in the weekend or maybe next Monday or Tuesday. Oh, I'll drop a message. So follow me online. I'm all over the place. Thank you, and have a good night. In fact, let's see if there's anyone rateable, actually. I'll send y'all to someone who's actually streaming. Let's see, who's currently streaming right now. Oh, Chris is streaming? Got it. Alright, I'm sending y'all to Scotty. Let's do this. I'll see y'all next time. Have a good night.